Hi there and welcome to the new video. Today I want to discuss the 5 most important things to think about when buying or already owning a camera and which kind of accessories you need to get to work with it on a professional level. The first and also the most important aspect of any camera is this right here, the sensor. That's the most crucial part of any camera to produce a nice image. But the thing is, it's not that relevant because everything that's been released in the last couple of years produces stunning images and all the sensors are quite good. So no matter what kind of camera you have or you want to buy, it needs to suit you personally. I'm using an FX3 right here because of its build quality and the design. I like it very much. I also own a Sony Burano, which is shooting me right now, but it doesn't really matter. The brand thing, I don't care. I also shot a lot with Canon and also with Arri and the other big brand names, but I've come back to Sony because I like the ecosystem and I like the autofocus and the stuff it offers me. But for you it could be something else and it doesn't really matter. The image quality is wonderful from all the releases over the last couple of years. So don't overthink the image quality part. What it comes down to is how it suits you in different shooting scenarios that you might find yourself in, and also how it accommodates all the accessories you want to put and build on it. Some brands are better here and some brands are better there. I think the FX3 is an amazing tool and you can rig it up like hell or just strip it down. Since all the cameras are so good right now and the image quality is so superb over all brands, what it comes to most are lenses. And when you have a nice glass in front of a good sensor, then nothing is in your way to producing some stunning images. Stuff. The next. Nice. Just as important as a good camera sensor is a good camera monitor. It allows you to assess the image much better because I've worked a lot with this flimsy on-camera monitor stuff and it's more like an aiming aid than a professional video assessment tool. So get yourself a good on-camera monitor. I have a Portkeys BM5WR2 or 3, I don't know. BM5-3WR. It's even able to control some functions of the FX3. It's quite on the pricey side, but there are much pricier alternatives as well as much cheaper ones. This is a Thermis Shinobi. I also got this for another camera of mine. And yeah, it does the trick. It allows me to see where my focus is at and it allows me to compose my images much better. So good on-camera monitor is quite crucial for a professional setup. Talking about monitors, this brings me to my third point, and this is a good video transmission system. In this case I have Axune CineView SE on my Sony FX3, you can see right here. And I use this to send the picture to an iPad, iPhone or even to a monitor so the director or the client can have a picture. In case of my Sony Burano I use the SDR transmission system and send the picture to this Portkeys HS8, which is quite amazing to give it to a director, and you can also hook up the SDR or any Axune or any other kind of transmission system. It's like with the sensors. They've become quite good right now and I don't think you need to be loyal to any brand. Why it is so important that your director has their own monitor is because you want to work in a team. And if you work on a professional set, I think it's quite standard right now that you give the director also a monitor and your image, because then you can work together and start creating visuals and you don't need to shoot anything twice because the director isn't sure if you already got that picture. So really important, some form of video transmission device. The fourth point would be sound. In a professional environment, normally the camera doesn't need to handle sound anymore because you have a dedicated sound person. But on some occasions, the sound person might be somewhere else or is just busy and you need to react quickly. Especially in documentary settings, this happens a lot. And then I'm running off to shoot something and then you really need some sort of sound on your camera that provides you with not the best audio quality, but provides you with a usable sound. So at least you have some audio on your camera, so you can use the material you've shot and not be there with stunning images but no sound at all.
And speaking of sound, let's shift gears from our own camera microphones to the sponsor of today's video, Artlist. Their AI voiceover feature is now available in German. On their website there is this dedicated voiceover section where you can explore a selection of voices. Currently they offer 4 German voices, but they're working hard on expanding the library, so stay tuned for more. These voices are exclusive to Artlist, ensuring your projects have a unique sound. Subscribers to Artlist can use this feature without any additional cost. If you're not yet subscribed, I've included the discount link in the description below. There you get 2 months for free. Simply type your script, and the AI will deliver a natural sounding voiceover, perfect for trailers, commercials, or even documentary narration. This is a fantastic addition for filmmakers, allowing you to add narration to your videos. And especially as they add more languages to the model, it gets so much more useful when you can reach a much broader audience worldwide.
Hier kannst du dein Skript eingeben und es vertonen lassen.
Whether you're working on a big project or just experimenting, this can really elevate your work. And with more voices on its way, the possibilities are just endless. Alright, enough of that and let's get back to the main topic.
In this case, it's just a small little video mic from Deity, and it's not the best sound quality, but it does the trick. And on bigger cameras like my Sony Burano, I use better mics like the MKE600 from Sennheiser I have on the Burano right now. This is what you're listening to right now. I'm just putting this into the camera and it produces wonderful audio. In a professional setting, I don't want to do that. I want to have the sound person on my side, pulling all the audios and doing all the interviews, but in stressy circumstances, it's a lifesaver and you need to have it on any camera. Now we've talked about sound, and external recording of sound requires you to have some sort of synchronization between the sound and the camera. This is where this comes in handy, the Tentacle Sync E. And the Sync E is nothing more than just a very, very accurate clock. And having these on your sound device as well as on your camera or multiple cameras, it allows you to sync them up in post-production just with one press of a button, and it will spare you from a lot of hassle. What you really need to keep in mind is how you get this timecode from this device to your camera. Because some cameras have a dedicated timecode input, like my Sony Burano, it's just an SDI input. I can just plug it in and the SDI input transforms the signal from this device into the in-camera timecode. But something like a Sony FX3 doesn't have this. And you can come around it with the audio TC, but with audio TC, what you're doing is you're putting an audio signal, it's like a beeping sound that comes out of here, and you put this onto the audio track of your camera. It not only takes up one audio track, but it's also a little bit dangerous to fail because you can't really check if your timecode is right. This is where this comes handy, and this is the timecode cable from Tentacle. It is for the Sony FX3, and you can just put the timecode from the auxiliary jack into the Sony multiport, and the FX3 as well as A7 as well as FX30 and so on and so forth can transform that signal into a real timecode readout. It's not absolutely precise, it has a drop of 2 frames I think, but it's hardly noticeable and spares you a lot of hassle when the audio TC isn't working. So take this cable, plug it in here, and then you have really reliable timecode on all your devices. And bam. And these are the 5 most important things you need to look out in a new camera or in a new rig. But with this comes another problem, and this is power. And for the power supply, I've of course chosen V-mount batteries because they're quite versatile. I can use them on any product I have. I use them on my monitor, I use them on the Burano, I use them to power literally everything. And with this rig, not the anamorphics, but the rest of it, I've shot a lot of documentaries and it worked out really great. Now I have the Burano, and it's kind of a different approach on rigging it, but I always come back to my nifty little Sony FX3 for something like my YouTube channel, where a smaller camera is just more practical when I'm on my own. So yeah, keep that in mind and rig out your camera so it becomes a more professional tool. Or yeah, just strip it down and shoot with it bare bones, the image quality will be the same. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving me a like or even subscribe to my channel, and most importantly hit that bell icon so you won't miss my new videos. If you want to watch another one, right there. And with that, goodbye and see you next time.